Get the latest lacrosse news and updates in the Lax World Lacrosse Report at PressBoxOnline.com, updated daily with Lax news, info, and blogs only at PressBoxOnline.com. And we are back with the head coach of UMBC men's basketball team, and that is our good friend Randy Monroe. And Randy, it must seem like ages ago, but it was only, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago that you were just on the verge of being in the big dance.
Absolutely.
This would have been your big weekend.
Absolutely, Stan. It's just like Jimmy Patsos is having that weekend right now. We wish the Greyhounds the very best. It was well-deserved, and they had a great year this year.
Let me ask you a question, though, and this is a little tough because I've known you a long time.
Sure.
That 3-year period, the year before, your big year, and the year after, you were combined 51 and 45, including that 23-8 season where you got to the big dance. Since then, you've won just 13 games while losing, I believe, 77.
Right.
4 and 26, 5 and 25, 4 and 26 again.
Right.
You didn't suddenly become a dumb coach. Why is it so hard at the level Towson, Loyola, Coppin to sustain things?
Well, Stan, one of the first things is when you have a group of juniors and seniors, and just like all over the country, those juniors and seniors eventually move on, they graduate, and then you're rebuilding, and then what happens is you have to rely on freshmen and sophomores, and those youngsters have to learn how to play on a college level. Sometimes that takes a year. Sometimes it takes 2 years. And the way the things are now with the social media and, players, they're more apt to leave programs, and, if things aren't going their way. Sometimes if things are going their way, they have a tendency to leave. So you're dealing with all of those kinds of things, and it makes your job, your profession, a little more difficult.
How tough is it to recruit off of 3 consecutive seasons that you've had? Do you find at the level UMBC is at, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the 3 years you've had, does affect recruiting, or at that level it's all about playing time and,
Well, I think it depends on the youngster that you're recruiting. I think what you can sell to the young man is the fact that he could come in and be an integral part of turning the program around. And we are very pleased with the young men that we have coming in this year that we feel can help our program, along with the youngsters that gained valuable experience this year. So we're really excited about that, and we feel those youngsters can help us. And that's what we try to sell the young men that we're recruiting at this point in time.
Tell me about the relationship you have with your AD there. 3 years, bad years. Tough on him with your relationship, or you and him are seeing this through?
Well, UMBC's
like
being very,
well,
no, UMBC's being very, very supportive. I think that's one of the things, the good things about the university itself. We also understand that, we want to be successful. It's like you said before we started, I didn't all of a sudden just become a dumb coach. Programs go through transitions, and obviously we have definitely done that, but we'll be back in the thick of things. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right, let's flip over and talk about the teams that are having that high experience right now of being in the NCAA tournament. Who did you play when you were in the tournament?
We played Georgetown.
Okay.
We played the Hoyas in
and
the
you
first
were a
round of the
15 or a
tournament.
16?
We were a 15 seed.
15,
yes,
so you're just where Jimmy is right now.
Right.
He's playing in Pittsburgh against Ohio State. Any shot at all, a puncher's chance?
Well, you always have a chance. That's why you play the games. That's something that we always tell our guys.
Except 16's never beaten a one.
Yeah, well, it's difficult, but once again, Stan, that's why you play.
That is why you play.
There were games last night where Iona was beating BYU by about 15, 20 points, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. Then all of a sudden BYU comes back and they win the game. So anything can happen in a one-shot deal in the NCAA tournament.
Are you in favor of these games, these new games, where it's gone from what, 64 to 68 teams that make it into the tournament, or do you find this whole thing a gimmick, these first two nights?
I think it's, I just think what you do is you reward the teams that make the tournament. You know, Vermont certainly deserves to be one of those top teams. I don't think they should be playing a play-in game to get to the NCAA tournament. They outright won the league. You know, now Stony Brook was a regular season champion, and they played in the championship, but Vermont won at Stony Brook.
Championship. That should mean something.
So that should definitely mean something. I don't feel that now Vermont has to go and play a play-in game to get into the NCAA tournament.
I agree totally.
I totally don't agree with that. And I mean, you can also make a claim for Drexel, who won 19 straight games in a very tough Colonial Conference, and they don't even get a bid. So I mean, that's very, very, I know, disappointing to Bruiser Flint and his staff.
What is Jimmy Boeheim going through? He gets #1 seed. He's had this incredible year, and now all of a sudden he's losing this 7-4 center, Mello.
Yes,
He's been declared inactive for the entire tournament.
Right.
That's bizarre to me. The timing of these things.
Yes, it's you know, it's our profession. The timing is unfortunately not our timing, but I'm quite sure Jimmy will find a way to have his team prepared to play in the tournament. And you know, when you lose a player of the magnitude of Fab Mello, who was averaging 11 rebounds a game, and he's a difference maker on the defensive end of the floor, that does hurt you. But then, you know, you have to dig down on your bench and find somebody else who can make some major contributions for you.
All right, we're going to put up the brackets real quick. We got about a minute.
Sure.
Give me your Final Four.
My Final Four will be Kentucky.
Right.
I'm going to go with Michigan State.
Okay.
North Carolina. And Ohio State.
All right, you got Ohio State in there.
Yes.
I've got Kentucky winning the whole thing, beating Missouri, and I've got Florida State playing Kansas, with Kansas beating them and Kentucky winning the whole thing.
That's a pretty good field. I think Kentucky, North Carolina in the final, and I'm going to say
who's going to win it?
I'm going to say, although Kentucky beat North Carolina early in the year, I'm going to go with the Tar Heels.
Tar Heels. Yeah. All right, Coach. Best of luck to you.
It's a pleasure.
Moving forward. When we get back, we will have more of the program, so stick around. Inside Press Box is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.